lessened. You're choosing a vicious, fast all-in.
Yeah.
Although I do fear that one big wave of lings would have just crushed it. Maybe not with the SCVs. It's hard to say.
Maybe, yeah. SCV pulls will stop that too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because SCVs take so much hit points. Anyway, guys, we're ready for our next game. Game number 3.
Heavy Rain is the map. And spawning down here in the 6 o'clock position. Caviar Napoleon. A.K.A. Enderr. His opponent up in the top half of the map. The red Terran player. Showing us cheeky gold play. On Habitation Station. It's Neeb.
Kid's got moves.
Moves like
Jagger.
No, like Neeb. Moves kind of like bit by bit.
True. I don't think he sent enough SCVs to be labeled.
I don't think he had enough SCVs.
He
made like 13.
Yeah, that's true. It's brutal. But that's why. He's no bit by bit.
Very early drone scout this time for Enderr.
Bit by bit keeps his SCVs, keeps making SCVs because he knows they're so powerful enough. Okay?
Bit by bit's assembly is, or his strategy is disassembly with that SCV power duel.
It's like, I love my tech builds when I get Marines. That's it. That's bit by bit right there.
Drone scout's going to spot the early gas, going to spot the early barracks, going to say, hey, this looks like Reapers. Probably just going to go hatch first.
That's right.
Look at that SCV hiding so it can't get harassed by the drone. So annoying.
Gosh. How cheeky.
He's like inside that barracks.
No worries. 2 SCVs to defend. This is definitely a map where we've talked about the third base being a really, really tough base to defend, I would say, for both of the races. But just by how it works out, I think Terran normally has the advantage. Yes, there's a lot of counter-attacking paths that you have to worry about if you are Terran, where Zergling, Baneling, Muta can just go around your army. But because both third bases are so close to each other, it normally makes for a great 1-1 timing push.
Yeah, the push distance from here to here is very short, like you were saying. Just right down this little alley. And Terran can close that distance very quickly, even with tanks, although we don't really see that many tanks in the current meta. But when you do see a tank, I don't always build siege tanks, but when I do, it gets 54 kills.
That's a lot of kills.
Put it right there.
You're good to go.
All right, pool finishing up right now for Enderr. And it looks like he's setting up to play a very standard game. And it looks like Neeb is also setting up to play a very standard game. Last time we saw high mid-game aggression. Last time we got to the mid-game, we saw high mid-game aggression out of Enderr. As we see the first Reaper. Actually, he's going to get a kill, I think.
Nah.
Oh, he's going to get a kill. I believe. I believe.
Sport. Yeah. You want odds? Dang it. Asked you too late.
1,000 to 1. I'm a big fan of that micro there from Enderr. It was a very last second spore crawler. It's hard to do that, guys. And anybody that plays any amount of StarCraft knows how hard it is. I lose drones all the time because I'm like, I'll just plant that spore at the last second. When in reality, for me to do it, I have to start it on the first Reaper shot. Better build a spore. I end up with like 7 spore crawlers building across the back of my mineral line, and then no money for the Zerglings. It's terrible.
I'm so sorry, Ben. That's what they should do. When you select all your drones, it just automatically builds with the weakest drone. That would be very convenient. That way you don't ever have to click it. You just wait. Press BA.
If they made that change, the first thing that would happen is Idra would tweet about StarCraft becoming easier, and he would not be happy.
Yeah, we should do that. It'd be great. Just saying.
I mean, I'd be fine with me. It would raise my overall enjoyment level of the game.
Just saying, Ben. Again, very standard play. Although no early bunker. This is what we were talking about. Command center popping down. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2 barracks being popped down.
Well, look at this.
And then he gets the bunker.
Once again,
Ben!
Enderr has devious intentions.
No, he has Ben intentions. This is like such a Ben play. A lot of Zerglings going for the counterattack, swinging in, knows it's barracks first.
This is the key to it, too. This little guy. He's going to wait until he sees the Hellions and the Reapers, and he's going to then die, and then he's going to count to 3, and then he's going to attack with a counter. And it's going to work out very nicely for him. This whole crew is just going to chill for the time being. It's just, what, 13 lings? So in total, he's committed 7 larvae to lings. He's
There's
going,
the trigger. 1, 2, 3. He goes in.
Unfortunately, Neeb is too smart because he was going that way. And going to shut it down. Hey, that's great play from Neeb, though.
Yep, fool me once. Fool can't get fooled again.
Very on the spot. Shuts it down. Takes no real damage. I still very much so applaud the effort, and it was minimal investment. We still see that the worker count 36 to 30, even though it is 3 CCs to only now a third hatchery being started. So definitely advantage Neeb here in the early game, but Enderr has plenty of opportunity still to make something happen. Needs to probably start some new lings, though. It's time.
Would agree. You can't really hold this off with just 3 queens. They don't have a lot of energy. They've been spending their energy on creep tumors. Normally, you'll have at least one with a transfuse. But at the same time, he doesn't want to lose health on his
good micro so far by our Zerg player.
Oh, wow. He spends on creep tumors again. Okay. I mean, not a big deal.
No,
I like this
a lot. Only a single queen in the main base. This is going to be very frustrating to deal with. And I told you a drone would go down. You owe me $1,000.
I do. Damn it. It's alright. Another drone? Okay, you didn't say 2 drones.
Damn it.
It's null and void.
Let's push. Queen's going to try to do something about these Hellions on the low ground, and Lings very much want to attack, but it's not going to happen. Enderr is going to have a harder time with the counters this time around, as Neeb's played it extra safe. He's got a very funny-looking wall, but a wall nonetheless. And it will be hard to run Zerglings past that.
We have our upgrades going down for...
There's the Baneling nest.
Zerg.
So this is exactly how Enderr played his last Zerg versus Terran, although he'd been a bit more successful with his early game harass last time. Uh-oh, door's down.
It's all right.
But it appears that Enderr is the kind of player that absolutely enjoys that mid-game aggression. We see that he is still droning. 4th hatchery's down, but it's not at a 4th expansion location. It's just for the production. He'll probably be taking this base as soon as he feels like he's done a little bit of damage. Is probably the way that I would interpret that. Queen's going to continue spreading their creep all around the map. I like how many active tumors we have.
You have to be super active with creep spread on this map because there are so many directions that you have to defend. And also, a lot of times, Zergs have been kind of
Adam,
having
this
this insurance creep spread where if you don't have enough creep going to your 4th base, there's another 4th base that you can kind of think about. So I like how we're seeing this, making sure he's absolutely comprehensive because he eventually wants to get creep down to that left side and all the way up there. So he also has good access to his opponent's 4th base.
I'm already very impressed with how Neeb is reacting to the playstyle of Enderr. We see him sending out little spotter units to catch things like these roundabout flanks. Look, this guy's out here on the edge. He's actually checking for an expansion, but he's going to walk right past this Baneling attack.
Yeah, perfect.
Good stuff all around. We see another counterattack has been set up by Enderr. These Lings are going to want to jump into the natural expansion as soon as they can, but they're still waiting for that cue, waiting for something to prompt them to run in. A little bit of an attack making its way over towards this potential 4th expansion.
And there the Zerglings go on the left-hand side. Lings. Nice shot by the Hellions.
Actually, they're going to run into the 3rd base. There's a bunker there waiting.
That works.
And that will...
hold position or something pretty soon here.
Surprising amount of damage dealt already.
But
and
4th base.
Marines are not going to be enough. At the same time, this attack is underway at the 4th base. Banelings so far not getting the connections that they need, and that's going to be a canceled hatchery, or a killed hatchery in this case.
Absolutely.
So good little attack coming here out of Neeb, showing us that he's got some skills. The Ling counter has been cleaned up at Neeb's 3rd base. He's just going to load up that drop and continue with the harassment.
He's really noticing what the weaknesses of this build was. A lot of Zerglings and Banelings, they're good, don't get me wrong, if you're applying pressure, but if you're applying pressure for yourself as the Terran, then you're able to really punish the fact that there are no mutas out for quite a long time. Look at this. There's, I think the Spire just finished, so it's another good 30 seconds by the time there's anything that comes of
Neeb's reaction to the playstyle of Enderr has just been flawless. I think the fact that he can play one macro game against the kid and then make himself this much more safe against that style of ZVT is absolutely mind-blowing. So impressive.
I agree.
He's like a cyborg.
Here again comes another counterattack from Enderr. I love this type of play though. Still,
Neeb is just on top of it. He just gets it. He's always got units in the right spot. Here we go. Multi-pronged aggression coming from Neeb. He's once more going to attempt to cancel this base. Good awareness, picking up that drop at the right time. And nothing over here for Enderr to clean this up. Meanwhile, counterattack on the other side of the map, this time with Banelings in tow. A little bit of damage, a lot of bit of damage. Could very well be dealt here as the Banelings can't decide what to connect with. Could have been worse as Neeb defends it very, very nicely at the same time. Doing work in multiple places, dropping the back of the main, dropping the back of the natural. All the Marines on one of them have been cleaned up. This one still keeps a few units alive. Income tab shows us that our Zerg players fallen down to just 60 drones, and these Lings are not doing their job.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit tough now for Enderr. It looks like, as you said, Neeb kind of has his opponent's number. He knows exactly the play style, and he's punishing everything perfectly, even throwing in a Thor to the mix, making it very, very complicating. Of course, that Thor just represents a lot of tanking damage and kind of a response to the Mutas being a little bit cheeky and at the perfect time, too.
Makes it very difficult for Mutas to do things like attack into a big ball of Terran.
That's
right. This is a good catch with Lings on the ground. It's going to be hard for the bio to clean it all up, but ultimately there is enough bio. Burrow is one thing that I think Ender's missing in his play. Oh, man, this is a great-looking attack from Neeb. Neeb is impressing the hell out of me. I thought Enderr was the better player after game number 1, but it looks like Neeb able to just react and put it together very nicely.
So active with it, too. Like, it's responsive, and it's like a high-pressured response,
Look
too.
how fast he plays, man. Easily cruising at over 300 actions per minute. Good engagement this time from Enderr does force a lot of those units back, but still his flank is exposed and the drop is exploiting that. More drones going down. A Queen's going to fall as well. And still, the Zerg player has to deal with this attack. The Thor going to be a bit of a problem. Here we go. Ling's going to come crashing in once again. Those are good Baneling connections this time. Why is he running away?
Because he wants to defend against the attack in the main base, I think, maybe? Okay, that finally gets cleared up. But if you can take a look, the units tab, 2 Mutas out in the field. Look at that medevac count, though. 11. He doesn't have to worry about medevacs ever again.
And these are 2-2 Marines against 2-2 Lings and Banelings, so Zerg upgrades are even. But the problem here is medevacs, man. It's going to become very ineffective for Lings to fight against Marines under this kind of healing. Like every Marine's going to have his own personal medic, which is a luxury. This is not where you want to be, mister.
Okay, that works. 5 kills, not that great. But still, I mean, Neeb is in a fantastic position, really limited his opponent. On top of that, if you look at the tech-wise, 3-3 on the way, Hive not remotely close to being done. So Neeb's just going to keep drilling. 3 finishes, and he will have the lethal damage.
Yeah, this is phenomenal play from Neeb. I am so impressed. So pleased to see a young North American Terran playing at this level. He looks like he's got the stuff, as he's going to go ahead and push forward, perhaps setting up a lethal attack into the third base of Enderr, who is ill-prepared. He just doesn't have that much, Andre. 130 supply against 190. What can a maxed-out Terran do against a Zerg with no money, no army, and soon-to-be no bases? Well, let's find out. Baneling's going to roll forward. Can they clean it up? The answer is, of course, no, with some brilliant splitting there from Neeb. More and more units streaming forward from Enderr, trying to salvage this defense in some way. I gotta say, Ender's macro has not been that bad. He's got more and more units hatching, 30 more Lings on the way, but it's not gonna matter. Good game gets called, and Neeb jumps out to a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. That is some great TVZ. Very, very impressive work on Heavy Rain.
He was relentless. That's the #1 thing. I mean, to react is pretty difficult as it is. Normally it's reacting, you're playing a lot slower, but this is reacting and playing at a much higher capacity, I would say. Neeb really impressed me, as he did you, and I feel like, yeah, he does have Ender's number. I don't think there's a way for Enderr to really come back into this unless he just switches his style as well, and that's a hard thing to do, especially if you are a ladder warrior. You're used to your own style, you're used to doing the same thing over and over and over again, and all of a sudden when you don't have that counterattacking weapon, what do you do from there?
Yeah,
you don't really know what to do.
Tough stuff. We're going to move on to Yansu for game number 4.